Hey guys, it's Seth here with Badass Attraction, and I just want to clarify something, okay? I know you guys are looking for information about how to talk to women, and there's a lot of good stuff in these videos. And I got a comment from 7A, said, hey, you're cute, here it is. Hey, you're cute, can you help me pick up chicks? Did you come all the way over here to flirt with me? You're not fooling, blah, blah, blah. This shit is so canned, it amazes me that chicks would ever think it's intriguing. If I was a hottie McHotterson and I was approached with lines like this, I would be thinking, what a corny D-bag. The problem is that so many chicks don't have the attention span for a natural approach because that takes more to build up, but it's way better. Okay. He's obviously not tried this. All right, so this is a perfect example that is illustrated. I know it's a movie, but this is I put it in the play-by-play attraction guide. Just watch this sequence again and learn from Vince Vaughn's character, okay?
And if you tell the bartender to go easy on the water, then this 50-cent piece has your name written all over it, okay? I want you to run along because I'll be timing you. I'm gonna keep time. 1, 2, 3.
And then, of course, his buddy Mikey, who's a nice guy, says to him,
What an asshole. Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money. That was so demeaning.
yeah. Okay, so, obviously he didn't use one of these lines that we're suggesting here, but it's kind of in that vein. See, it's in the same tone. He's being borderline obnoxious, a little, the nice guy mentality. You think to yourself, oh, he's being so demeaning. And then in the next scene, of course, they end up hooking up. That's how it is when you're out talking to women. And it's not because of the actual words. Okay, the words in these suggestions, when you go and you look at banter lines or you get, guidance from Dow Badass, the words are like training wheels for you guys, okay? When you're starting out, same thing happened to me. When you're starting out, you don't know what to say. Your brain freezes up. We've all been there. You a pretty girl shows up and you're like, hello. So banter lines like that are to help you in the beginning. They're to help you have something to say, and they're actually pretty funny when you think about them. But what's more important is that you have the balls to even say that to somebody. I've been shocked by how effective this is. I have had more success with women either being, it's not being obnoxious. Let me put up a little notepad here, okay? Because I want to give you, it's not that, let me say, canned lines. Okay, if you're going to sit there and be critical and prejudge this before trying it, and you say, the guy says, if I was a hottie, well, guess what? You are not a hottie. Okay? You are not a hottie. You're a man, and you don't know what it's like for these women, okay? These women, I love women, they have a different way of thinking, and they're very insecure, all of them. Okay, so if you exude the confidence to throw out one of these canned lines, and even if she looks at you and laughs at you and blows you off, but if you're still cool about it and you're like, I know, it's like the corniest line I've ever, right? They love that. It's confidence. It doesn't matter if you come up and say, hey, if you really actually go out, I've done this. I've said, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Or, heaven must be missing an angel. If you actually have the balls to say that in real life, the balls to say it, it's exciting. It's fun. I mean, like you said, there's like 3 things that can happen. There's actually more than 3 things. But, what's going to happen? She's going to laugh and think it's funny. Or she's going to, like, give you a weird look, right? And say, ew, or be like, what a loser, or whatever the hell she's going to say. But the thing is, if you don't care, you can come up with any canned line. The point is to get you to the point where you're comfortable saying these lines or other lines. It's not the actual words. Again, it's the vibration, it's the attitude that you're putting out there. It's why I had a story. I had a woman. I want to tell you guys a little story, okay? So there was a woman that I was interested in me. She was older than me. She was taller than me. Okay, so I'm 5'7", and she's 5'11". Okay, right. So what happened is we hooked up on a couch. Right. So we're sitting on a couch, and we had this really nice moment, and she actually. I was trying to do some healing work on her, and I couldn't connect with her. And I said, I can't connect with you for some reason. And I said, you know why? And she said, well, I think you're cute. And I was like, well, that's really nice. So I went in, we kissed a little bit. It was really sweet. And then we stood up, right? And she realized, I saw it on her face. Suddenly, she's towering over me. And her mindset just went to shit. Like, I could just see it in her face. She was like, okay, well, listen, I'll see you sometime, right? And I knew that she had just killed the attraction in her own mind because she had her insecurity killed the attraction. Because she thought, I'm tall, he's short, you know, what does that mean? I'm bigger, I'm too big, I'm fat, whatever the hell. It was all in her head, right? So I didn't know what to do at the time. And I could see this happening and I felt like helpless. I'm like, oh my God, what do I say? What do I do? You know. So the next day we went out, right? And, you know, we had a good time and we were hanging out. And at the end of the night, I actually bought her dinner, which is something I don't do anymore. I bought her dinner. I spent $80. And we got to her place and we were hanging out there. And then she's like, so you're cool to drive home, right? Okay? She said, so you're cool to drive home, which is like basically you're not getting any tonight. And I remember in that moment, maybe this is because I'm Jewish, who knows what, I was so pissed that I had just spent all this time and money on this dinner. I just spent $80 for you to have a little bit of wine and some dessert at this restaurant. And I know you're attracted to me, but you got some stupid conversation in your head. That stupid conversation in her head. And that's what you're up against with every girl in the world. That's what these techniques are all about, is that girls have these horrible conversations in their head. They want to fuck, but they were taught at some point, oh, they shouldn't fuck, I'm supposed to be a good girl. And all these techniques are all about is how do you get the girl to drop her stupid, insecure conversation and let herself open up and actually have fun and have sex. So when she said that to me, she said, you're cool to drive home, I got pissed. And all of my nice guy conversations, shouldn't say this, shouldn't say that, you know, all these things that I was thinking, oh, she's a girl, I shouldn't, this is stupid to say that. Obviously, I wasn't saying anything canned, but I just ripped into her, okay? As if I would with any other person who I knew was full of shit. And I said, you and I have an attraction, and you've been judging this ever since we stood up and you saw that I'm taller than you. And you know that even though I'm a few inches shorter than you, that's bullshit because we have an intense connection and you want me. And I just ripped into her for like 5 minutes. I was relentless. I said so many things that a nice guy would be like, oh no, you couldn't have said that to a woman. Well, it turned her on. It killed that stupid conversation and we had an amazing night. Okay? So, I just want to tell you that whatever you think, the point of this is me like sharing a little personal experience. Okay? Whatever you think, here's the litmus test. Whatever you think, if it's working for you, then keep doing it. Okay? But whatever you think of these lines and these techniques, if you haven't applied them and whatever you're doing isn't working, then you have no right to say it's not going to work on a hot girl because you don't know. Okay? So the point of all these techniques is to get your confidence level up. And again, you don't know how the woman is going to react. You are not a hot woman. You should look at this, and that's the great thing is too, basically this is a great way to stand with these canned lines or any of the techniques you learn in the Tao Badass. Stand there and say to I am not a woman. I am a man. I don't know what is going to happen. And be like a scientist. Be like, well, let's see what will happen. Well, what if I try this? What if I try that? And then you'll start seeing, well, this works and that doesn't work. And then you'll get more and more comfortable. And more comfortable, you have more fun, you'll get more dates, you'll get laid. Okay? So, don't feel weird about trying out these lines. Again, I do highly recommend Tao Badass because he's got great advice and it's in what I like to call in-depth. Because yeah, these lines work, these approaches work, but it's like kind of like if you wanted to learn how to, if you want to learn how to bake a cake or you want to learn how to change the oil in a car. I mean, you can get like a tip on how to change the oil in a car, but it's more helpful if someone actually takes you through the process of how do you actually drain the oil and then get the new oil and put it in, So that's why these courses, if you're serious about getting laid and you've been having struggles like we all have, get one of the courses. It's like $50 or $90, whatever. For God's sake, isn't it worth that much to get laid or learn how to get laid? If you wanted to learn Spanish, you wouldn't just try to pick up tips on Spanish. You'd actually get trained on how to do it. So go ahead, go for it again. You think it doesn't work, you haven't tried it, you don't know how crazy it is, you know, how women think it's not what you'd think. If what you thought worked, it would be working. Anyway, guys, this is Seth from BadassAttraction.com. I'll throw it on another video soon. Hope you enjoyed this. Click the link below this video. Get the play-by-play attraction guide. Get the Down Badass. And go out there and get laid.